Honestly, I went on El Camino because of a very frustrating breakup. And I wanted time to be with myself. For what? Well, honestly, I really, I really didn't know. But something pushed me to it. I wasn't looking for enlightenment, although, spoiler, some came anyway. I was born in South America. I studied in the US. I worked for multinational companies all over the place in Colombia, Argentina, Ecuador, Bolivia, Puerto Rico, all over the place. And I had quite a few experiences. In Colombia, I had the siege of the Palace of Justice with a lot of people killed. I had the tragedy of the volcano that erased a whole town from one day to the next in a mudslide. I also had Pablo Escobar and his narco-terrorism and the FARC. Nothing like starting your career with some intensity. In Ecuador, I had hyperinflation and the dollarization of the economy, and another volcano that sent quite a bit of ashes all over Quito and the surrounding areas. Nature just showing, who's in charge. In Bolivia, I had a very, very odd job. Normally, I was building, creating, but in Bolivia, I had to dismantle all the architecture for the largest fast food restaurant in the world, all over the country. That was kind of counterintuitive. You're always building, not tearing down. But that's what happened in Bolivia. Amazing. In Colombia, Ecuador, and Argentina, I was a country manager, country CEO for the world's largest retailer at that time in the world, music retailer. You know, when people used to buy CDs, some of you may not even remember that, but people used to buy CDs, and it was a huge business. And everywhere I went, I had passionate romances. Some were interesting, some were an education, to say the least. Meanwhile, I'd been practicing Zen meditation. I did Zen meditation for 15, 20 years. I followed non-duality teachers, and I even translated a book for an Indian teacher from English to Spanish, non-duality book. Outwardly, I was a very accomplished executive. Inside, I was always searching, looking for my true self, my spiritual side, paradoxes of life. Then came a dangerous mix, a traumatic breakup, relationship, and a life that was no longer in books and meditation cushions. So I went on El Camino de Santiago. I went to walk and I went to be alone. But as always, life doing its thing, I wasn't alone. On the Camino, I found things I wasn't expecting. Closeness with people, intense friendships, conversations, shared secrets, long silences. And I also found clarity on an issue that was burning my heart. My relationship with my ex-stepdaughter and her son, my beloved step-grandson, you could say. The Camino showed me the way. It wasn't a voice from the sky. It was human. It was real clarity. But thinking about it, there was magic to it. I'll leave that for another video. It was one of those things that people talk about, the magic in El Camino. It's an interesting story. You'll like it. This channel isn't a tourist or spiritual guide to El Camino. It's a space to share what happens when you walk many, many kilometers after having walked many years through life. If you're interested in walking, reflecting, or just hearing real stories, welcome. I'm Max, and this was the beginning of my Camino.